Good evening, this is Mark from Tetrakey. I hope you have had a fantastic day. This is number 146 of Tetrakey TV. Really enjoying these chats and almost now thinking 260 is not enough. I think we're going to have to keep going and not stop this. So tonight, it's part a rant, I think, hopefully it's going to stimulate some dialogue. And I think it is more about our society and it's more about what we're creating. And it came out from a couple of conversations I had a very early client meeting, and then I ran a workshop this afternoon for a group of sales leaders, and we had similar conversations between the two parties. They are both groups were the same age bracket, so predominantly between 40 and 50, both senior leaders in their respective fields. Both are recruiting and working with all walks of life, all ages, all genders, so have a very, very diverse awareness and understanding of business and the world. And we talked about a article. It was a news article that came up today around a sports team. It was a school game and it was a school rugby match, and one side won the game 200 and I think it was 212, I'm not 100% sure, but it was a lot to nothing. And the conversation was around should the game have been stopped when one side's taking an absolute beating and the game's not even close. Should the game be stopped? And it was a very interesting discussion and dialogue, and it touches on a number of things and facets that I'm experiencing in the business world at the moment. And it's a lot around commitment. It's a lot about focus on and being committed to one thing, and then being aware and understanding that you're allowed to say no to alternatives. It's about being focused on what the impact and the direction your life is going, and therefore say no to the unimportant and frivolous. It's about the concept of instant gratification and the information overload, and what messaging it's sending to the next generations as they grow up. And we got onto the conversation of participation. So back to this rugby. So the score 212-0, and the debate was, should the teachers and or the referee stop the game early? My view and my opinion on this matter is no, they shouldn't. And I say this because I'm observing certain behaviours and traits in young professionals who've just come out of university and have gone through the world we're in at the moment with instant gratification and information overload. And it's all about, in my opinion, it's all about so the conversations after a few months in a job, they're coming to me and talking to me about promotions, about getting more. They want more. They believe they've done one good piece of work and that warrants a promotion, it warrants a pay rise. And it worries me. It worries me that there's a lack of depth to what we're doing, and there's this constant desire for, if I do something well, then I deserve and should get instant reward, instant feedback, instant benefits. When I was going in the corporate world, it takes a long time. It takes a long time to generate a reputation. It takes time to really understand the business. You've got to have your knocks. You've got to do something that's not quite right and get told off and get directed and get told of how to do something more. So if the referee and the teachers would have stopped the game early, what message would that have sent to those children who are playing a sport? That it's, when times are tough, it's okay, there's going to be someone else there who's going to come to your rescue. That when you're getting shouted at or told that what you did is not good enough, it's okay, someone's going to come to your rescue. And that's not the world that we live in. The reality is business life is tough when you get into an environment where the things really, really matter. Then, and if something doesn't go how it should be going, you need to learn and grow and develop, because I believe the only way that I've grown and developed is through failure. It is through going through things that haven't been easy and have challenged me, and they've made me look at the world slightly differently. They've made me question certain things, and they've made me grow. Imagine if I'd have grown up in a world where the first sign of trouble or failure, or the first sign of something going slightly wrong, someone would have come in and protected me. I don't believe that would have made me a healthy person. I don't think it would have. It wouldn't have created someone who's resilient or who understands the concept of anti-fragility. And it's the same thing in a healthy and unhealthy relationship. If you're in a relationship where you have victims and you have solvers, so one person says, I've got this problem, or this and this has happened to me, it's not my fault, this has not happened, and another person comes in and steps in and goes, that's okay, I'll fix it for you. Then what message does that say to your partner? Where if you turn around and go, okay, I hear your problem, see your problem, I'm empathetic to your problem, and I'm here to support you as you solve your problem, you're still demonstrating the values of love, friendship, compassion, support, but you're not taking that problem away from that person, because I think one of the strongest drugs we have is problem solving. We can all go back to a time when we've done something on our own or in a group that's had a really good outcome, and the feeling you have of elation of I've solved that problem, it's fantastic. And so this rugby match, I believe, shouldn't have been stopped. I'm very glad it wasn't stopped. I think we need to learn that we need to teach the next generation that life isn't easy, that you have to go through highs and lows, you have to understand failure, you have to understand things that went wrong, and you have to put things right. And you have to do it. You have to take accountability and ownership to do these things. No one else is going to do it for you. So I'm sure this is going to stimulate some debate, and I'm hoping that other people have completely contrasting opinions and we can get into a dialogue around it, because all we're debating is opinions, and it's I'd love to learn and see someone else's perspective, and maybe that helps me understand the world slightly differently. So please give me your thoughts and feelings on this, and I will speak to you soon. Good night.